Audio Jungle.
UTech saddened as missing student Anissa Dilworth feared dead. President of the University of Technology Jamaica UTech, Dr. Kevin Brown, says the university community is saddened by the news that skeletal remains found at the beach in Portmore St. Catherine are believed to be those of missing UTech student Miss Dilworth. Our university community is deeply saddened by the devastating news that one of our students, Anissa Dilworth, has been found deceased after being reported missing May 6, 2025. We mourn her loss and the tragic circumstances that is believed to lead to this. Our deepest sympathies are with Anissa's family, friends and classmates, and all who knew and loved her as they grieve this unimaginable loss. Anissa was pursuing a Bachelor's of Science in Pharmaceutical Technology in the College of Health Sciences. She was passionate about her field of study and had a promising career ahead of her, Brown said in a statement on Monday. Members of the academic and administrative staff of the institution also took to the streets on Monday to protest for women's rights and the elimination of violence against women following the incident. Brown said this incident is a stark reminder of the urgent need to address the epidemic of crime and violence in our society. This heartbreaking incident is a stark reminder of the urgent need to address the epidemic of crime and violence in our society. No family should endure the pain of losing a loved one to senseless violence. Meaningful action is urgently needed at both the community and national levels to prevent such tragedies. In the coming days, our university will share ways in which our community will come together to honor Anissa's memory and support one another. Counseling and support services are available to all students, faculty, and staff through the university's chaplaincy and counseling unit. Additionally, we will be reviewing all security protocols for students and staff, particularly for students who live off campus. During this time of profound sadness, our university community will continue to keep Anissa's family in our thoughts and prayers, he stated. Brown also extended gratitude for the efforts of the police, search teams, and everyone who worked tirelessly over the past several days to locate Dilworth. According to reports from the St. Catherine South Police, about 11:30 a.m. on Saturday, they were alerted to the discovery of skeletal remains at the beach and went to investigate. They said that while formal identification is pending forensics analysis, investigators believe the remains belong to Dilworth based on evidence found at the scene. Dilworth was reported missing on May 7. Healthcare workers stage protests over attack on nurse by driver. Nurses and other healthcare workers gathered at the University Hospital of the West Indies yesterday morning in St. Andrew to protest last week's assault of a nurse by a driver in a rage-filled attack. They called for justice for the injured nurse. The protesters were joined by Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, who repeated his condemnation of the incident. Any act of violence against any individual must be condemned, but our nurses are essential workers. They are out on the street day and night, and justice must take its course in this incident, stated Tufton. We are supporting the victim, but we want to send a clear message, which is why the nurses are here, and which is why I am here, he continued. The protesters later moved the demonstration to East Street in downtown Kingston, where they continued to press their case. We think enough is enough, and it's time for the silence to be broken, President of the Jamaica Annual Nurses Association, Clardine stated. We are hoping that justice will be served. Businessman Robert Bell was on Saturday charged with the assault of a nurse, which was captured in a now viral video. The 65-year-old St. Andrew resident is charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm, assault with intent to cause grievous bodily harm, assault at common law, possessing a firearm with intent to commit a first scheduled offense, and possession of a firearm with intent to cause injuries. The police say that about 7:15 p.m. on Tuesday, May 13, the nurse practitioner was on her way to work when her vehicle was impeded by a vehicle driven by Bell. A dispute ensued between the two individuals, during which the woman was physically assaulted multiple times. The following day, Bell was apprehended by the police. He was subsequently charged after a question and answer interview in the presence of his attorney. The police say they also seized his licensed firearm. JCF reminds persons to exercise extreme caution during citizens' arrest. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF is reminding members of the public to exercise extreme caution when attempting a citizen's arrest. Under the law, a private citizen can hold a suspect in a felony matter until the police arrive. This can occur if the person has witnessed someone committing a felony. Addressing the topic on the Police Civilian Oversight Authority (PCOA) Pandikana podcast recently, Assistant Commissioner of Police ACP Desmond Brooks of the Inspectorate and Professional Standard Oversight Bureau clarified that citizens do not have the power of arrest in certain situations. The question, though, is whether or not as a citizen you have power to arrest. Yes, it is absolutely correct, ACP Brooks stated. For a felony, which is really a serious crime, the arrest is to just hold the person. Remember, I said arrest is really restraining a person's freedom, he added. ACP Brooks emphasized that a citizen's role in such circumstances is only to temporarily detain the suspect until law enforcement arrives. So, for a citizen's arrest, it is to just be holding the person until the police can take action, he explained. However, the ACP stressed that personal safety must always come first. The first thing you have to do is to take into account is your own safety and your ability to do so. In other words, you should not risk your life because as a citizen, you have the powers of arrest, he noted. ACP Brooks advised the public to be thoughtful and strategic before intervening. You should weigh the pros and the cons, look at all the scenarios, and if it is safe, it is always safer to summon the police and take scrupulous notes of the person, their description, and pass that information to the police, he noted. He added that in some cases, if the situation involves a felony, for example murder, and the individual believes they can safely intervene, they may proceed with caution. In the meantime, the JCF is urging Jamaicans to refrain from carrying out vigilante or jungle justice. We strongly encourage citizens to hold the suspect alive, no injury, no attack, no violence, and hand them over safely to the police. Very often, when we resort to vigilantism, you kill the person and the person has information that can give you better insight into what is happening, and you kill that information, ACP Brooks noted. The JCF continues to engage citizens to partner with law enforcement in promoting public safety, but to do so responsibly and within the bounds of the law. One of two defense lawyers completes summation in Maridine's case. One of the two defense lawyers in the trial of the three cops charged in the 2014 fatal beating of Maridine while in police custody has concluded his summation of the case to the seven-member jury. During Monday's sitting of the Westmoreland Circuit Court, Martin Thomas painted the prosecution's star witness as someone who cannot be trusted. The witness in question was an inmate at the Barnett Street Police Lockup in 2014 who gave a chilling account of Dean's beating and the reaction of the cops when they were told what was happening to Dean. During the consummation last week Monday, prosecutors also tried to convince the jury that they could believe his testimony. On Monday, Thomas argued that on August 11, 2014, the witness told the Independent Commission of Investigations INDECOM something different from what he told the court during the trial. Thomas told the court that the witness was a pathological liar who had conned his account of what took place on the day Dean was beaten. Thomas said the prosecution did not get evidence from the witness that he was having a big problem at the lockup and wanted to move. It was revealed in court that the witness was housed at the two other lockups, including Hanover. Thomas also brought into question the testimony of a former senior investigator at Indicom, Molly Plummer, who he said had 10 years to prepare for a court but failed to do so. Thomas said he counted 16 times that Plummer told the court that she could not recall aspects of her statement. The three accused are Corporal Elaine Stewart and District Constables Marlon Grant and Juliana Cleveland, all of whom are charged with manslaughter and misconduct in a public office. Thomas is representing Stewart and Grant, while Cleveland is being represented by Dalton Reed. Reed is expected to make his presentation to the jury on Monday. The allegations in the case are that Dean was arrested for possession of a conscious clip and placed in custody, where he was brutally beaten on August 3, 2014. He sustained severe injuries to his brain, which left him in a coma. He died 3 days later at the Corner Regional Hospital in St. James. It is alleged that the three cops were on duty at the police station when Dean was beaten. It is further alleged that Stewart, who has an additional charge of perverting the court of justice, instructed that the cell in which the attack took place be cleaned before the arrival of Indicom investigators. to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.